Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 5. Now this is going to be my review for Episode 7 of Arrow Season 5, otherwise entitled Vigilante. Now I'm still suffering memory card issues, that's why I'm not using my camera. I think I have to buy another one, so it's a bit annoying. But obviously before we get into this review, if you have not seen the episode, there will be spoilers in this review, so you might want to go watch it, then come back to this video after you've watched it. Now to start off, I actually really love the opening to this episode with the takedown of all those dudes trying to sell off that young woman, like all those dudes were involved in human trafficking. And then we have those two dudes strung up in the shape of a V, obviously indicating at the namesake for this episode, Vigilante. Now the question raised early on in this episode was a really good one, with this new Vigilante running around on the streets taking down criminals in quite the overdoing fashion, if you want to call it that, or the more brutal fashion. Like, does he really need to be taken down when he is helping Team Arrow clean up the city with these criminals, even though, as I said, he is making quite the public display with his takedowns. Now, I thought it was pretty funny when Susan Williams, the reporter that Oliver's constantly seeing, said she was in a Twitter war. It almost sounds like me at the end of Arrow Season 4 when I was saying that it wasn't a very good season and certain people were attacking me. So like we saw back in Episode 1 of this season, they brought back that like police sketch, or witness sketch might I say, of Vigilante, as we get our first decent look of him on security footage. So if you actually go back to Episode 1, they actually pull up that same sketch on the screen at some point. Now we obviously had some continuation of the Prometheus story, with Quentin telling Thea what was happening to him in regards to his blackouts, along with waking up with like blood on him and that pretty sick throwing star next to him. But like most of us viewers thought, Quentin knows that excessive alcoholism wouldn't allow him to become a sword-wielding, throwing star-propelling assassin. Now, it was interesting to hear Diggle bring up his son JJ, or John Diggle Jr. Now, Diggle said he was 2, which does match up with baby Sarah's age. Obviously, due to Flashpoint, baby Sarah doesn't exist, and now it's baby John. However, in the photo from Season 2 of The Flash this season, John Diggle Jr. looked like he was like 4 or 5 years old, like 3.5 at the minimum. So he's a very big 2-year-old, but then again, John Diggle's a pretty big dude, so maybe the genetics carried over. I'll tell you what though, Vigilante doesn't really give a crap about collateral damage, does he? As long as he gets who he is after. Even resorting to that grenade launcher, which was pretty insane, but I also thought, that's a bit excessive. Like, for one dude, come on. It was pretty rough having to see Quentin deal with everything that was going on within him, especially when he was going over what he thinks Laurel would be thinking about him in this state. But at least he had Thea there to get him over that line into the rehab clinic, and just to show him that Laurel wouldn't be against him. She would be trying to do the exact same thing that Thea is doing, and just trying to help him through this tough time. I thought the whole plan to lure in Vigilante was pretty smart, but it was really the conversation between Green Arrow and Vigilante that was the most interesting part. As Vigilante says that Green Arrow isn't getting the job done because he hasn't lost anyone, which we all know that he's lost a lot of people. But this also references Vigilante's losses, which in the comics is his family who were killed by mobsters. Now this isn't the last time we're going to see Vigilante. Obviously he gets away, so we're going to see more of him, and hopefully we get either some flashbacks with him or he just explains his backstory. Now I don't think I was the only one that cracked a smile when we got to see Diggle hang out with his son, thanks to Wild Dog, who I thought was pretty cool that he set it up, And we've seen Diggle and Wild Dog build quite the bromance over the past few episodes, so I thought that whole scene was pretty damn awesome. But seriously, like, what the hell? I was sitting there for like a minute going, what? And obviously I'm talking about the end scene with Artemis just standing there on top of a rooftop, you know, maybe just doing some surveillance work for Team Arrow. And then Prometheus walks up and I'm thinking, oh shit, Artemis is going to die here. This is why they haven't done too much backstory with her. But they're actually working together. I did not see that coming at all. I don't know if anyone else did, but I didn't see that coming at all. But when you think about it within this season, it makes sense. I've been complaining about Artemis this whole season going, there's no backstory with her. Like, everyone else that's come in, there's like a certain reason as to why they've come and joined new Team Arrow. But with Artemis, she just like showed up in the second episode and there's been really no development with her. And obviously, this explains why. Either she just rocked up and told a pretty crappy fake story to get in, or that's why it hasn't been really explained, because she's got this thing going on with Prometheus. So obviously the next episode of Arrow is the crossover episode, so we won't really get anything involved with this, you wouldn't think, until the mid-season finale, if not later. But now we all have to keep our eyes on Artemis and just think, okay, and that would explain why Prometheus went easy on her in that fight. There was a lot of complaints last week about how Artemis shouldn't even have been able to stand a chance with Prometheus, let alone get a cut on his arm. And I think this explains it all, because Prometheus was going easy on her. He wanted to set an example, try to lure Green Arrow in and stuff like that. So really, overall, I can't really have a complaint about this season now, because Artemis was really my only complaint. I do think they rushed the first couple of episodes a bit, but Artemis was really the only biggish complaint I had, because there was no real development there. So I am so excited to see what happens here, and hopefully everyone else is as well. But overall, I thought this episode it wasn't amazing, it was good. It was a good episode. I'm not going to call it a great episode, because it introduces Vigilante character, which we're going to get over, well, not the next episode because it's a crossover, but hopefully the mid-season finale and episodes to follow after that. And then obviously we got that big reveal at the end, and they obviously filled it in with some flashback stuff, which was pretty cool as well, and some stuff with that Susan Williams reporter. And I'm interested to see what happens with Lance, how long he's in that rehab clinic for, and seeing what kind of Quentin Lance comes out of it. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. What was your favorite part in this episode? Were you extremely surprised by that Artemis and Prometheus reveal at the end? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.